Hi guys, and welcome once again to another one of our Ceph's Java tutorials. And I'm Ceph, so yeah, we're just about to get into our tutorial. Okay, so I've already created my project here. You always have to make sure you've got your project. So let's just create a class. We're going to be dealing with input and output for you know um, for Java. Let's just call this our class. We'll call it input output tutorial. Yeah, make sure we've got the main and abstract methods inherited and stuff. Let's just clear this up so that we can get our workspace ready. And here we go. All right. So we'll start off with our input, right? So what happens with our input is, there's so many different ways that we can use to get our input in Java. But for today, we're going to be dealing with our scanner, buffered reader, and JOption paying classes. These are actually not found in the standard java.lang package, so we actually have to import them. So we'll start off by importing. In fact, we'll start off with our scanner. So let's import our scanner, and our scanner is actually found in the java.util package. So I was told to be a little more specific. So you could just put like a whole star and then import the whole package. But for the most part, I learned how to be specific. So yeah. So basically, now we need to instantiate the scanner class and create an object. I'll call it my object in. That's for the input. Scanner. Yeah. So this basically receives an argument of system.in. Yeah. So all console input basically comes from the system.in object. So the scanner class receives a system.in argument. So you just always have to include that, right? Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we need to have new. Okay. Right. So basically, now we've got our object. Let's probably prompt our user to, to probably throw in some form of input somewhere. Yeah, so right, we are going to be talking about output separately, but for this part, for this case, let's just like run through it, and then you'll get to see it as we go. So we tell our user what enter your input, right? And then the user goes, okay, let me enter my input. So we are going to receive that input as a string, right? So we now need to create a string object where the user is going to type in their word. And then we're going to use our scanner object right here in to actually receive the input. So yeah, and then so now our user is actually going to type in a word like hi, my name is, and it's probably like one word because we've used next. If we wanted for them to type like a whole sentence, we probably have to use like next line or something. And then our user just types out a word, hi there, my name is whatever, and then it's actually now stored in this word variable and this word object, sorry, which is of the string data type. And then we can probably just like print it out, system.out.println. We're doing this so that you actually see what exactly is happening and stuff. Here they're going to print out, we stored it in words, so it's going to print it out in Word. Yeah, so let's just run that. That's the cool thing about Eclipse is it basically compiles and runs at the same time. Well, on the same button. So, it just makes life so much easier. Right. So right here, we've got our prompt, which is enter your input, right? Which is right here. And then, I enter my input. Hi there. My name is Seth. Right? And then here we go. And then we just kind of told it to print out whatever is now stored in this word object, which is, hi there, my name is Seth. And then it works exactly like that. So, basically that's that for our scanner object. Next up, we'll want to move into the buffered reader. So now our buffered reader input is also not contained in the standard java.lang. So what we need to do is actually import it. So, we'll start off by importing java. Now the buffered reader is actually in the input output package. So, we get our buffered reader imported there so that we can actually start to use it. Yeah, let me just show you that we finished this segment. Comment this out. Maybe, yeah, buffered reader, just so you can see and follow where we are. Okay, so now we're on the buffered reader segment, and then our buffered reader, what we'll do is we'll start by creating an input stream reader. Input stream reader object. Oh yeah, by the way, you also need to import this. ISR is assigned new. Input stream reader, and this one, remember what we said, all console inputs comes from the system.in object. So we always have to make sure that whenever we're dealing with console inputs, we have safely taken up our system.in object. Where's my cursor going to? System.in. Right. So here we also need to import our input stream reader. Right. Cool thing about the input stream reader is also the same package as the buffered reader. So yeah, if you want to just make life so much easier, you could just put a little star there and then import all the packages. But like this, you wouldn't even need to do the whole buffered reader and all this stuff. It's just input, output, and stuff. But for the most part, I just prefer to be a little more specific. Yeah, and then so now we've got the input stream reader, and then we now call our buffered reader. I'll just copy it here. Lazy programming. BR is assigned new buffered reader. Now the buffered reader receives an input stream reader object as its argument. So since we've already created our input stream reader, which is ISR, yeah, we then move into the buffered reader. And then yeah. Another thing you also need to know is that the buffered reader, right, it generates an exception, right? So what happens is whenever you create a buffered reader object and stuff, yeah, it generates an input output exception. So yeah, you just always need to tell the compiler what to do. You could either throw and catch the exception, or else you could throw it. I prefer to throw it, Yeah, because basically what we're saying when we talk about throwing the exception is like, we could generate like some input output exception, like, maybe division by 0 or something. So what we do is that we can either tell it what to do, right? Tell the compiler what to do if it generates one of those exceptions, or else we could, gosh. Okay, I just had to answer a phone call. Okay, so we were talking about exceptions. Yeah, so in this case, we've just told it to look. If we generate an exception, just throw it, just like throw it to the superclass, and yeah, the superclass should deal with it whichever way it knows how to, But basically, we just want to throw the exception, because we don't want to catch it for now. Yeah, so when we're dealing with the IO exception, we just also need to import that. Thank God for Eclipse, which would just like do it for you, so you don't really have to like type all those lines of code and stuff. Because yeah, basically it does it. But you could also still do it. Yeah, you just import Java. You just type up the statement here, java.io.io exception, and it. Since we've told it to throw the exception, when it generates an exception, at this point, it'll just throw the exception. So, we're good to go. So now basically we can actually, probably tell our user to, I don't know, like enter input. Okay, you don't want to type it like this. So just like give me a second so that I finish typing. Enter input for BR class. BR class. As you can see, that for is like a keyword, class is a keyword, etc. So anyway, you would have actually typed this out first. System.out.println. Right. And then, you do something like this. Yeah, and then it's supposed to look like this. Yeah, so when they enter the input for the BR class, and then we can actually create like a string object. BR word. I'm using the word BR so that you can probably understand like which part we're at. We're at the buffered reader. We're dealing with the buffered reader class, so I just keep using BR so that you kind of get the hang of it. So what happens is BR has this read line method that we like to use. So yeah, it basically reads the line, and then it gets a whole string, and then we can actually then like print that out. System.out.println. BR word. Yeah, and since we still have the scanner stuff just said, okay, let's just comment that out. If we do that, and then we close off the comment just right here, so that we just now deal with the buffered reader side of it. Yeah, we just like compile and run at the same time. Yeah, we enter the input for the BR class. This is my BR input, and then we're good to go. So we told it to just, as soon as it gets our input right here, it stores it in the BR word, and then after the BR word, it then just kind of prints it out here. System.out.println. Yeah, just right here, we've entered. This is what I typed out, and then this is what was displayed. So yeah, basically that's that for the buffered reader. And then next up we will deal with our other form of input, which is the J option pair. I actually, I remember when I started programming. Sorry about that. when I started programming. I totally enjoyed this one. Why? Because it's, well, you see it as we go. So J option pane. Yeah. Okay. So what happens with the J option pane is we don't even need to instantiate it and stuff. So we can just like get straight into it. We just create a string object, which we will call, I don't know, int. And then, we can just like head straight into it. J option pane dot show input dialog. Okay, I shouldn't have put those brackets, but anyway, yeah. So here we'll just like enter the word. Yeah. So J option pane, we will receive string input, and then so it means automatically as soon as it receives that, we can actually just like print it out. This one is pretty simple and stuff. System.out .println, and then we'll print out the int. Right. So let's just like comment this part out, so that for the most part we can actually see what exactly is happening, and how it'll receive that. So we can yeah, we also need to just take a look at that. Yeah. Oh. Okay. I hadn't imported that. I'm trying to see why it didn't give me an error. Because it's supposed to. But anyway, since our J option pane is not in the standard class, java.lang class, we have to actually import it. Now the J option pane is actually in the javax.swing package. So we actually have to import that, and then for the most part, this is what we've done. Okay, here we go. And I was just about wonder what. Okay, never mind that. So we enter our word. So this is our word. Yeah, it's just why I liked it, because it's got this whole little cool pop-up thingy where you can actually just check out like the whole thing. It's off the console, so you kind of feel like you're actually programming in Java. It's really exciting. Anyway, so after this is the word. Okay, and then it prints out right there on our console. Yeah, you're wondering why can't we have like a little pop-up the same way we had that one? Well, we'll have it. I'll kind of show you, but that's when we're now dealing with our output. So, but for now, those are our three input methods: the scanner, buffered reader, J option pane. So, without further ado, let's move on to our output. Okay, let me just like comment this out so that you can just, for the most part, tell which segment we're at. Now we're dealing with our output. So for output, output is pretty simple. We've got the system.out, which we've already dealt with. We've been dealing with it all this time, and then we're also going to be using the J option pane. So for our output, yeah, I don't know. You want us to? Let's just go quickly through the system. System.out. So for output, you could actually have it in different ways. Like here, we could probably first of all start with print. So with print, what happens is it kind of works the same way as println, but it's just that Hi, it's just with print, it just prints continuously. So it doesn't print the way printline does. Let me actually just illustrate this. Right? Like here we've got hi. So that's print, right? And so if we just let's just comment this out so that we can like be a little more specific for the most part. Yeah. So here, as you can see, we've got hi. But if we did like print line, right? And then we run that, basically, yeah, it prints and then it moves to the next line. So yeah, that's basically the difference between print and print line. If we like probably print a value here, because when you use these colons, oh, sorry, not colons. What's the name of this thing? Yeah. Well, when we use these, they basically indicate that we're passing a string argument. So if we just like pass an actual value here, that becomes like an integer. So like if we're passing an integer value like that, this is actually detected as an integer value. So that's printing a string, and then that prints an integer value. What else? Concatenating. We could probably add two different strings, or we could say hi. This is, and then we can add another string there. The second string, sorry. Second string. Yeah, if we run that, basically what we've done is we've concatenated hi, this is the second string, and we've like used different strings, and then we've just like joined them together. That's what we call concatenation. We've used this plus operator to concatenate. Yeah, I think basically those are like yeah, we could do mathematical operations as well. Like for example 205 plus 200, right? It actually kind of works. You could just do both those in the same, yeah, and it'll print that out. Yeah, so basically it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool feature. The system.out.print line methods. The next one we would go on to is the JOption pane. So with the JOption pane, remember we're now dealing with output. So JOption pane also gives you, a way to like output your stuff. JOption pane, dot show message dialog. Oh, okay. Yeah. So this one basically it gets like four different arguments. So the first one is the position argument. So we just use like null for the most part, and this is basically telling it that look, it's going to be positioned right in the center. Right? Remember how it just kind of pops up? Yeah, so it pops up and it pops up right in the center of the screen. The second argument is a string argument, which is going to display, because remember this is output. So this is our string output. And then the next argument would be our title, right? So basically, we've got a title like "Hey World." So that becomes like the title of the JOption pane. And then the last but not least, this one is basically showing us like what kind of an information or what kind of a message it is that we're displaying. And depending on what it is, it could actually even like display a sorry display a error message, or like just some icon that's just appropriate for the type of output that's going to be displayed. So for now, fine, let's just try the error message so that you just check out what kind of icon that will pull out. Let's run that. So those are the 4 arguments, and then yeah, there we go. String output, J option pane. Yeah, this is the output, and then this is our title. Remember, we like set a title, hey world, and then we told it it's an error message, and then yeah, this is the string that we've actually plugged in. We could there's so many other icons to add. We've got information message, probably put it as an information message. Yeah, if you run that, there we go, string output. We've got the little I to show that it's an information message. But I think for the most part we're dealing with a plain message, so we'll just put our plain message, and then it shows no icon. So you can just take a look at that. Here we go, string output. Yeah, and that's our J option there. So yeah, so far that's what we're doing. We've done for this tutorial. We've done our inputs. We've done we talked about our scanner, buffered reader, J option pane, scanner. Yeah, I hope that was helpful. If you need any more information or anything else along those lines, just feel free to leave a comment right at the bottom, or you can email me. No, let's leave a comment. It's fine. All right. Have a great day. See you in the next tutorial.